Hi guys, and welcome to my channel. In this video, you are going to learn about constructors in object-oriented programming, and I will show you on a practical example how constructors are used and why we need them. This is the second video in a playlist where I teach you about practical object-oriented programming, and in the first video, we have built this application that you can see on the screen. If you did not watch that first video, I'm going to link it here, and also I will link in the description the entire playlist where you can learn about practical object-oriented programming. So first, let's explain the application that we have built in the previous video and that I have here, and then we are going to continue building this application together. So here we have an application for managing bank accounts. And if I start this application, you will see that here inside this grid, we have 3 bank accounts, and all those 3 bank accounts have owner, account number, and balance. In the previous video, we learned what are classes and what are objects, and we have also created a class called bank account, and then we have created 3 objects of that class. That is this bank account, and then this bank account here. So now I will show you how that looks like in code. So here is our bank account class, and as you can see, it has 3 properties: owner, account number, and balance. And then in the code behind of this form, we have created 3 objects of that class. So let's open code behind, simply right click on the form and click on view code. Okay, so here we are creating first object, and then we are setting its owner, account number, and balance. And then here we are creating second bank account, and then third bank account. And then here I'm creating an empty list of bank accounts. I am adding all those 3 bank accounts in the list, and then I simply set that list as the data source for my grid. So when I start the application, you can see these 3 bank accounts inside our grid. So that is what we have done in the previous video. And then in this video, we are going to learn about constructors, and we will also implement these 3 functionalities here so that we can create new bank account that will be added to this grid, and also deposit and withdraw money from existing bank accounts. So our goal for this chapter is we don't want to hard code these 3 bank accounts like we have currently. We want to be able to create them programmatically and then deposit and withdraw money from those bank accounts. Hey there, if your goal is to learn programming and start a successful career, build interesting and useful applications, and if you enjoy learning from my YouTube videos, then you should definitely enroll in my practical programming course. I will take you from beginner to expert in just a few months, and I will give you all of the support and help that you need to achieve your goals. In the course, you will work on realistic projects, you will get access to a large community of successful developers, and everything that you need to learn will be on one place. You just need to follow the plan that I have created for you. And those of you who finish the course successfully will get a special certificate that is going to open a lot of job opportunities for you. In the description, you can find a coupon code to save some money, and if you're not sure if this course is for you or not, we have 7-day money-back guarantee, which means that if you don't like it for any reason, you will get all of your money back. No questions asked. So now, instead of coming up with excuses, use this opportunity to finally learn programming and transform your life, because you really have nothing to lose and a lot to gain. So as I said, our goal for this video is to be able to create these bank accounts programmatically. So the user enters name of the owner, and then when he clicks on create account, that account should be added into this grid. And then also we want to implement these 2 functionalities so that we can deposit and withdraw money from existing bank accounts. And that is what we are going to do together in this video. And if you want to download my project so that you have the same application that I have here, and so that you can continue building it together with me, I will leave a link in the description to my GitHub repository, and from there you can download this application and you can code along with me and implement all of these functionalities. Please just keep in mind that in order to be able to work on this application, you need to install 2 things. You need to have Visual Studio 2022 or newer version. And the second thing is you need to install .NET 8.0 framework, because those are 2 things that I have used in order to create this application. And if you don't have those 2, again, I will leave a link in the description of this video that you can use to download them and install them. And the installation process is very easy, mostly next, finish, and then they are completely free for students. So let's first explain what are constructors. You can understand a constructor as a special method that is invoked when you create an object of a class. And the job of constructor is to create or to construct that object. So basically, constructors are used to set the values for the properties of the object that you are creating. So when you first create an object, its constructor will be invoked, and inside constructor, you can set the initial values for the properties of that object. So this is the definition, and now let's see how this works in practice, because that way it will be much easier for you to understand and to learn what are constructors and what are the benefits of using constructors. So I will stop my application and I will open my bank account class, and I want to create the constructor for this class. So now let's see how we can do that. Now there are a few rules when you are creating a constructor, and the first rule is that you should create a constructor inside the class that it belongs to. So if we are creating constructor for bank account class, then we need to create it inside these curly brackets of our bank account class. That is the first rule. The second rule is that constructor always needs to be public. So I will say public, and there are some exceptions to this rule. You can learn more about those exceptions in my practical programming course in the CodeBeauty Academy, because those are some more advanced topics. For now, let's just say that constructors always need to be public. Okay, that is the second rule. The third rule is that constructor does not have a return type. And then the fourth rule is that the name of the constructor is the same as the name of the class that it belongs to. So by doing this, I have created a constructor. Now this constructor is currently empty, but as I explained, the constructor will be invoked every time that you create an object of bank account class, which means that here we can write the code that will be executed every time that we create a new bank account. And before we start writing the code and changing this empty default constructor, let's first explain what we want to achieve. So let's go to the code behind of our form. Simply right-click on the form and click on View Code. And here you will notice that we are creating bank account objects. This is the first, second, and third bank account that we have created. And you can already notice that it is taking a lot of lines of code to create these three objects. So now the question is there an easier and better way to do this same thing? It would be very cool if we could do something like this. So instead of creating new bank account that is empty and then assigning owner, account number, and balance, we would like to do something like this. I'm going to comment these three lines of code, and here inside these parentheses, when I'm creating my bank account, I will pass this owner name like this, and then I will pass this GUID like this, and then instead of passing this as a balance, let's say that initially, whenever you create a new bank account, its balance is going to be 0. And then if we want to create another bank account, again, I will not need these three lines of code. Instead, I will pass here everything that is necessary to construct that bank account. So owner's name, again, and then I will pass this new GUID like this. And then, as I said, balance initially when you are creating an account will be 0, like this. And we will do the same when we are creating this third bank account. So I will comment out this entire code. And then here, when I'm constructing that object, I will pass owner's name and then GUID, which will be the same as in the previous two. And then balance will be initially 0, like this. So my goal is to delete this code that I have commented, and then when I'm creating my objects, to use just this code here that remains. So now the question is, can we do this and how can we make our code to work? Because currently we have these red squigglies, which means that we have errors in our code. Well, let's explain what is happening here. So when you are creating bank account object, here will be invoked the constructor because, as we said, constructor is used in order to create or to construct that object. So here what we are doing, instead of having empty parentheses, is we are passing some parameters to our constructor, and those parameters are the values or the information that the constructor needs in order to construct that object. In our case, we are passing owner's name and then GUID and then balance. And we are doing that for all of the bank account objects that we are creating. And the reason why we have this red squiggly, this error, is because we don't have any constructors that correspond to these parameters here. So we don't have any constructors that receive these three parameters, and then based on these three parameters, they construct the object. So in order to fix these red squigglies, we would have to create a constructor that receives owner's name, new GUID, and then balance, and then it creates an object based on these three informations. But before we do that, let's see if we can make this code even shorter. Please notice that when we are creating these three bank accounts, initially the only thing that is different is owner's name. So this account is mine, and then this one is from Elon Musk, and this one is from Bill Gates. These remaining two things, so GUID and balance, the way that we are creating those is the same. So here we are generating new GUID, which means new account number, and we are passing that as a parameter to our constructor. And then here as well, we are creating new GUID, new account number, and again, we are passing it as a parameter, and we are doing absolutely the same thing for this third bank account, which means that we don't need to pass this as a parameter to our constructor. We can simply request a new GUID in the constructor itself. And then for this third parameter, which is balance, we said that initially each bank account that is created, its balance will be 0. So again, we don't need to pass this as a parameter to our constructor. We can simply do it in the constructor for each bank account that we create. So that means that we can remove these two parameters from our constructor like this. And the only thing that we need to leave is owner's name. So I will remove it from here as well, and then from here also. So when we are creating new bank account, the only thing that we need to pass to the constructor is the name of the owner. So now, instead of creating a constructor that has 3 parameters, we can create a constructor that has just 1 parameter, and that is owner. So now let's do that. Let's go to our bank account class, and here let's say that our constructor will receive 1 parameter. It will be of type string, and it will be called owner with lowercase letters. Okay, so here inside these curly brackets of my constructor, what I will do is I will say that this property, owner property of my bank account, will be equal to this parameter that I have received. So whoever is creating new bank account object, he needs to pass owner as the parameter to the constructor. And then here we will construct that object based on the value that we have received as the parameter. That is going to be the name of the owner. And then for these two remaining properties, account number and balance, we already know how to initialize those. So for account number, I will say that it is equal to new GUID like this. So for each bank account, please generate new GUID. And then for balance, we know that initially when you create a new bank account, its balance is going to be 0. So with this, we have successfully created our constructor. It receives 1 string parameter, that is owner of the bank account. And here inside these curly brackets of the constructor, we are setting initial values for the properties of that object. So the owner of the bank account will be the value that we receive here, and then account number will be new GUID, and then balance of that bank account initially will be 0. And this constructor will be invoked for each new bank account object that we create. And if we go now to the code behind of our form, now you can see that the red squiggly that we had here has disappeared, and currently we don't have any errors. So now we are able to use this code, which is a lot shorter, in order to create objects of bank account class. So when we are creating a new bank account, here it will invoke its constructor, and this will be passed as the owner for the bank account. And then in the background, constructor will also set the account number, so it will generate new GUID for the account number, and also it will set the balance for that account to 0. And if I start the application, as you can see, we will get the same behavior that we previously had, but now the code is a lot shorter. And even if I want to add a new bank account, I will simply copy this line of code. I will create bank account 4, and here I will say that the owner is going to be, let's say, Mark Zuckerberg, like this, and then we will simply add that 4th bank account to our list, and that list will be set as the data source for our grid. So now when I start the application again, as you can see, here is our 4th bank account. So in this video, you learned what are constructors and how to use constructors in order to easily create objects of a class. And here we have 4 objects that we have created with the help of our constructor. Now, there are a lot more things that we want to do in this application. For example, something that I currently don't like is that these 4 objects are hard-coded in our code. And what I want to be able to do instead is I want to be able to create new bank account by clicking on this button. And then also I want to implement these 2 functionalities so that I can deposit and withdraw money from my bank accounts. But since I know that you don't like videos that are too long, let's do that in the next video of this playlist, which I will link here. So in the next video, we are going to implement these 3 functionalities so that we can programmatically add new bank account, and then so that we can deposit or withdraw money from the selected bank account. So if you have any questions, please leave those in the comment section. And if you enjoyed this video, give it a big thumbs up so that I know to create more videos like this one. And if your goal is to learn practical programming so that you can start a successful career and build useful and interesting applications, and if you enjoy learning from my YouTube channel, then you should definitely enroll in my practical programming course, because there I will take you from beginner to expert in just a few months, and you will get all of the support and help from me that you need in order to achieve your goals. In the course, we are working on realistic projects, so you will get real experience that you need. I will also introduce you to a community of successful developers that you can learn from and collaborate with, and everything that you need will be on one place. So your job is just to follow the plan that I have created, and that plan will take you to your first job as a software developer. So if you decide to join, in the description, I will leave a special coupon code that you can use in order to save some money. And if you're not sure if the course is for you or not, you can definitely try it out for 7 days, because we have a 7-day money-back guarantee, which means that if you don't like it for any reason, you can get all of your money back, no questions asked from our side. So you really have nothing to lose, and learning to code can absolutely change your life. So with that being said, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.